Happy Money Monday, because that's what today is. It's Monday, January, let's see, 6th. And this is the third trading day of the year. And pretty exciting because today is Money Monday. And we are walking away from the market with $480.25 locked in on the day. Pretty happy to be back green this year. Kind of a rocky start with two red days back to back. It's been a while since that's happened, but pretty excited to be back in the green. Now let's get right into it. Mainly only traded about four different tickers today. Biggest one was MEGL. I played that one a few times. We had RHE, MBOT, SPRC. These ended up giving some opportunities. SPRC much more than anything else. MBOT did end up fading off, but let's go ahead and go through each one of the setups. And I wrapped up trading around I think it was like 8 in the morning. I think that was my final trade. Even though there were a lot of opportunities at market open, and I might also go over that. But let's just go over the trades that I was looking at. First up was MEGL, and I'm finishing MEGL $361 locked in profit on this one, and pretty phenomenal. So we were able to find this 140 resistance pretty early on. We had this, formed a nice downtrend, and I mean, this is as picture perfect as it gets. You get the nice break and hold of the downtrend. So right down here, it's holding, and then it just follows the 10-1 straight upwards. So really nice trade. I do actually believe I took way too much off the table right here. So this is kind of what I was complaining about last Friday, where I'm trimming profits way too quick, which can be good, certainly. But I think I ended up selling about 75% of my position right here. Now, if I only sold 50% at that first target, then I definitely could have held a whole lot more for the 10-1 to continue holding up. Now, if I was able to do that on MEGL, take a look at this. This is MEGL later on in the day. So really, we were just looking at this area. That was the first trade. And if you notice, the 10 on the 1 continues to hold up until about 163. So it finally fails it right around here, 163. So I could have definitely kept holding a few shares until 163. I think I sold way too much within this area. Now, taking profits into known resistance areas is never a bad idea, but when you see strength like this above the 10 on the 1, you can definitely leave some money on the table for that bigger move. And I end up playing MEGL later on, so I play it twice. And this is Sensei snapback strategy. So shout out Sensei. We were looking at 162 would have been technically. I called it out to him, and when I was asking about him about it, and I was like, "Isn't 162 a snapback right here?" So I don't have the 5 minute chart open, but on the 5 minute chart, a red candle opened right here. So you take that open that came down and tested the 10 on the 5, and that open is normally a key break level where when price gets back up to that area, it signifies that the 10 on the 5 is holding in a strong way. So on this chart, we're on a 1 minute chart. Normally, the 50 EMA on the 1 minute, 50 on the 1 lines up with the 10 EMA on the 5 minute. So that's kind of what we see happening right here, where the 10 EMA on the 5 minute or the 50 on the 1 still continues to hold strong. So the idea of this break right here is to grab some shares and then for the 10 EMA on the 5 to continue holding up for that larger move. And that's exactly what happens. Now, Sensei mentioned that this little resistance right here was actually at 163. So if you zoom in on this 1 minute chart, 162 would be right here, 163 would be right here. So Sensei was more interested in playing this 163 break, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. Now, so take a look at this snapback at 162, but 1 minute resistance is at 163. So really grabbing any shares within this area, perfect idea, as long as the 10 EMA on the 5 continues to hold up. And that's kind of the thought process behind this. So we get the move, a nice little pop above. I don't actually end up taking profits off right here. I'm glad that I sized in with a little bit smaller size. And then on the 10-5 holding, I added a little bit more to my position right here on that 163. So right here, I was at full position size, not right here. So thankfully, then I'm taking profits into this nice little pop. And then I do a lot of trimming in this area right here. And then as price starts to come back down and fail the 10 on the 1, that's when I end up closing the rest of the position. I do end up scalping it for a little bit more size right there, but I'm kind of glad I cut that quick because I think I got in like right here and then short little scalp. While this 1 minute candle was forming, it looked like we were finding a lot of resistance in this area. So I closed that little scalp right into that resistance, thinking that it would kind of hard reject, but it does get a nice little pop, and then it hard rejects, and then just completely fades off for the rest of the time into market open. But yeah, pretty happy. Locked in $361 on that one. And then going on to, this is another one on MEGL, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the same. And then at the same time, MBOT was also setting up. So the reason I actually added both of these in here is this is the 7 a.m. volume kind of stepping in on MEGL. Then if we notice at 6:56, right into 7 in the morning, both of these were actually showing some pretty good strength. So MBOT was showing strength for a 375 break. Now I tried to preload because we got the break of the downtrend. We got the break of the downtrend right here, and I was trying to preload for the break and hold for the move past 375 up to 4. And I actually had my main focus on this one. That's why I actually went in with smaller size on MEGL. So if MEGL found too much resistance up here and then bulls started stepping into MBOT, I was thinking that this would actually fade off a lot quicker. Now, MEGL ended up being the main winner at 7 in the morning. MBOT ended up failing out pretty quick. Now, I was actually able to keep this very tight because at 6:56, I started to notice that the 10 on the 5 started to hold. Right when I saw that this was starting to hold, I was like thinking if bulls decided to make a decision between these two tickers, it's probably going to be MEGL holding the 10.5 that's going to bring in the more attention. Whereas MBOT, where it was setting up right here, it previously failed the 10 EMA on the 1 on that candle and then could not really get a strong close above it. Really what we needed to see right here was a strong candle pushing back up to the downtrend for bulls to actually prefer MBOT. We actually don't end up seeing that, and I noticed that pretty quick, and I actually get out with a very small loss right there when the 10 EMA on the 1 fails. So I actually got lucky enough to sell before this massive getting caught on that massive red candle. So even though I was sized in pretty heavily, only $48 loss. I mean, I'm very happy with that. $48 loss on a few hundred shares. Like I'll take that any day of the week. So I'm very glad that I was able to keep it so tight. But this is a perfect example of volume rotation stepping from one stock into the other one at the same exact moment. So into 7 in the morning, I mean, you can really see volume start to step in right here and some selling pressure right here. So bulls are really hitting sell here and buy on this one. And that's kind of the added confluence of taking this trade, MEGL, with a little bit higher confidence as we get that downtrend break and hold, and then a little bit nicer pop right after. But getting the break and hold right here, trimming right up at the top right here is kind of what you want to be doing. And then maybe you can hold a few more shares for the 10-1, 10-5, stuff like that. If price is holding above the 25 on the 1, even better. But now we can move on to RHE, which was another amazing trade. Amazing trade. So again, what we were trying to do is catch this one early enough. Sensei called out this 5 level pretty spot on. I was really hesitant to actually trade it right here. Now, I decided to go in with a much smaller size. So that's where you see those multiple buys. Those were each like $100 or something. So even though I did have to hold through maybe minus 10%, I knew that as long as we kind of hold this 4 level, kind of grabbed from this area right here, if we're able to hold above that, that's still going to pull up all of our EMAs to kind of help find some later on support. So my idea was to cut my smaller share size if the 4 or the 10 on the 1 fails. And both those levels kind of end up holding up very strong. And then we're still looking for the 5 break. 5 break never went active right here, but I probably got a little bit too aggressive with some of those shares right there. But again, they were smaller size, so I was like, you know what? If it goes up from here, I caught it. I can't be upset. If it rejects, I can give it a little bit more breathing room because it's such small share size. Now, at the same time, right when I see it start to hold up very strong on the 10 on the 1, and as it's setting up for this 5 break, that's when I add full size. So me adding full size here is for this breakthrough 5, and my thought process is right when I saw this huge, nice green candle get above VWAP, I just wanted to see it hold VWAP right here, and then see that continue that larger move play out from this downtrend break. Because I had a feeling if I only played the downtrend break, it would go a little bit too fast without me. So I wanted to kind of load some shares down here at VWAP, and with the intention of cutting if the VWAP fails, or my mental stop loss of the 10 on the 1 were also to fail. Technically, I guess you can also try and snag some shares down here, but it's just not showing enough strength yet because it could easily come up, test VWAP, and then keep rejecting lower. And you never really know with something like that. So I want to see it get above all of these psychological resistances of the 10-1, VWAP, in order for that 5 break to happen. These are the necessary signs of strength in order to see that larger move play out from here. So I'm actually really happy with my execution on this one because I only took half off the table right here, and then I sold basically the rest when the 10 on the 1 ended up failing. So right here, I ended up selling about 75%, and then I closed the rest of the position right here on that second sell order. So very happy with this one, $247 of profit. I mean, that's as good as you get with how small of a position I was taking. So very, very, very happy with RHE. And then SPRC, this is another one that I ended up losing on, unfortunately. SPRC ended up making a phenomenal move into market open, but I think I was just too early on it. So what I mean by early is we wanted to see something exciting happen from this 125 break. So the idea was hatching another one of Sensei's snapbacks. So I don't have the 5-minute chart pulled up here, but the thought process was kind of getting it off of this test, and we wanted to see the next extension away from the 10 EMA on the 5, which again is just the purple line on the 1-minute chart. So we wanted to see the next extension higher from this. So we grabbed it from the 110, and as you see, 110 got a nice little pop, but then smashed right back down. Originally, we had our downtrend drawn just like this. So I was also thinking that it was breaking the downtrend right here. And if we were able to get a break and hold of the downtrend, that sets up even better for this 125 break right here. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So we reject hard from the downtrend. So I move my downtrend up just a bit. And the downtrend moves up slightly. And then price comes back down, tests the 10.5, comes back up, tests the downtrend. So right here, you really just know that it's a fight between the 10 EMA on the 5 and the downtrend. So it's a fight between these areas. Matter of fact, I'm going to mark that up right here. So since it's such a fight between these, I know that a fail of one is basically going. One of them has to win later at some point. So right here, it kind of looks like the support of the downtrend, support of the 10 EMA on the 5 is starting to fail. So that whole thought process of catching it from the 10.5 snapback requires the 10.5 to hold up. Fail of the 10.5, you just cut and move on. We're kind of playing it a little bit too early because we should have waited for a little bit more consolidated look from the downtrend. Now, if we pull up SPRC, I mean, it made a spectacular move from this same exact downtrend that we had drawn. So as you can see, this is the same exact line. We just extend it outwards, and then we finally get the break of the downtrend, break and hold of the 110, shows room to the next level. 125, break of this, shows room much higher. So we just start stair-stepping through, I think it was like 3 or something halts in this area. And I actually ended up paper trading this one as well. So by this time, I had basically walked away this loss on SPRC earlier on. I was just too early on it, so I wanted to keep it very tight. There's no reason, like my entry was, I think, at like 111, right above this 110 break. If my entry was right here, there's no reason for me to hold through minus 20 something percent just for it to continue on higher. Okay? Just cut, move on when the 10.5 fails, and then look to play it again. this is a perfect entry. There was plenty of time to snag shares from down here from anywhere between 102 and 110. Plenty of time to snag shares here. Then also noticing when the 110 held, if you already had shares lower, you can possibly add to your position for the 125 break and the move higher into the next hole. I mean, this was a beauty to study, and I might throw that in here later on. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the day. Ending the day, $480 in the green. So we are back officially green on the year. I'm pretty glad that I swapped back to a cash account and started trading with some smaller size. Really need to rebuild the confidence one step at a time, and I think I'm doing that the right way. Going over the last 2 days of trading. First day was red 233. Second day was red $6. But at the same time, I was up almost $400 this day. So kind of embarrassing that I kind of got caught holding and hoping on SCPX, just for SCPX to kind of make a move higher and so on. But SCPX, I really got caught holding and hoping. I will not be doing that again, and I learned my lesson. Paid a lot of stupid tax. It's a tax that you pay for being stupid. I'm going to trademark that. But really happy. Landed some of the best trades pre-market, and SPRC was also an amazing one to study into market open. GFAI was also great. I mean, this is textbook. So if you zoom out here, you have this nice consolidated downtrend. So we do actually get a fail of the downtrend, but the fact that it gets over and a strong move past is a great sign. And then you can probably play it from this next downtrend for a 3 break. A break of 3 can show room to 330. Break of 330 can show room to some bigger resistance, some psychological levels up here. So looks like found resistance right at 383. But again, just playing it from the 3 break, do some trimming. 10-1 fails, maybe you just cut for a loss right there. Maybe you try and play it again from, it'd be pretty far extended right here. But theoretically, you might have even been able to play it from a 344. Not exactly sure. Or even a snapback, I wonder. Possibly a snapback from another 329, so 330 break. But GFAI, I paper traded this one. Very, very amazing action. There was one more that I paper traded. RHE at market open. Let's split them up. I think that one is slowly fading off. But RHE was also pretty interesting to try and land. So again, another perfect break and hold of the downtrend. And notice how the break of the downtrend is exactly with our 5 resistance. It's even more important then for that 5 to hold up at the same time. So a fail of 5, it basically means that the downtrend, support of the downtrend is also going to fail. So we get the break and hold and then the reaction upwards. Really nice trade right here. I paper traded it from, looks like 486. So right on the test of the 10-1 down here. I mean, near perfect entry. I'm really happy with all my executions today. I think I did as good as possible, especially with keeping some of these other moves tight. Like MBOT, keeping this one as tight as possible with the share size that I was taking is like a near perfect, perfectly positioned for that 375 break. Cut even a second early, which was great, as I saw MEGL just looking a little bit better in the moment. So very happy with all of the moves that I was able to take advantage of today. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, whatever you need. Let's see. So today is Monday, January 6th, and we are sitting $480 in the green. Tomorrow, going to be Tuesday, so that's going to be the 4th day of the market this year. So kind of looking forward to it. Hope to kind of finish the week very strong, have a really nice, strong start to the week. So let's just keep up the momentum. I'm going to study some more moves, probably. I think RHE might be interesting if it can recover. Some of these other moves are kind of impossible to really catch because they were setting up on absolutely no volume. So I'm not even upset about missing FUBO, but BOXL. They're just not in my wheelhouse to kind of look for a trade. ARBE also came out with like news partnering with NVIDIA or something like that. But it's a larger float, and look how it just fades off after that first initial front side move. Same thing with the FUBO. I mean, it's got a $320 million float. I'm just not even going to work. It's not even worth my time charting it out because I won't trade it. So, some pretty good moves overall. There's multiple stocks that were up over 100% on the day. But today's been the Trading Trail Update 3. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Have a good day, everyone.